Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making it here today. To get things started, I'd like to introduce Ellie. Ellie has worked with social media for 5 years and is working for two Italian companies, Edizioni Amrita, which is the publishing house, and Il Giardino de Libri, which is a big e-commerce company that sells books and natural products. Her specialty lies in B2C niche of books and organic vegan products. 2 months ago, she started working on setting up her own company, Links Adventure, for social media solutions. And the company's website and media pages are still under construction. So thank you, Ellie, for taking out the time to conduct this workshop. And I'll let you take over from here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for much. Thank you so much for being here. We have a few slides, so I would start as soon as possible with that because there is quite a lot to go through. And I will try to go through quickly to the part on why social media is good for a B2B company. And then I made a very small and short analysis just to give you some practical examples on taking some social media example from some of the company that are part of August One. And then, of course, there is I'm here for any question you have. I'm very happy to, if I can help, to answer those questions. Okay. So yeah, we can start with the slide. So basically, the topic of this webinar is why should B2B business use social media? So the answer is yes, they should, absolutely. And basically, it's because ultimately the customers don't buy from companies, but they buy from people. And this is true even more for a B2B business, because they will basically always interact with someone from the sales department of another company. So this is absolutely true and very important to keep in mind. But they should use social media in a very different way compared to how a B2C company would use it. So rather than focus on selling, they should use social media as a top of the funnel marketing, and specifically for content promotion and creating a brand awareness. I'm sure everyone already know what is funnel marketing, so I'm not going to go through that. But if you have questions later, I'm very happy to answer them. So, of course, B2B social media is here to stay. It is a recent statistic note that advertisement is practiced by 83% of marketing, and is a second only to search engines and in terms of success. So it is growing. Is more and more company are using it, and in my opinion, of course. So here are 5 reasons why a B2B company should use social media marketing. Okay. The first is that customers are on social media. So we know that B2B companies sell to retailers, but retailers could care less which brand the customer choose, since they make money from any choice, basically. And now if you leave your own marketing in the hands of the retailers, sales may be a bit low. So instead, what you can do is marketing effort, and you can use your social media profiles to support your brand by promoting social responsibility, to promote the unique attributes of your products, and also, of course, to engage with. Then the number 2 is customer support. So customer support. This is a very important point, is that basically most of people prefer social media for customer care nowadays over other channels. And of course, you need to offer support where your customers are. So for example, the customers are increasingly using Twitter to complain about brands or product and things like that. So just to give you some numbers, the for customer care, the preferred platform is the social media at 34%. And then you have website and live chat about 24%. And then nowadays only by email, the email customer care only 19%. And on the phone, like for example, toll-free numbers and something like that, only 16%. So social media is very far in number compared to the others. And also you need to keep in mind that recently, I'm sure you heard about it or you know about it, but recently Facebook and Instagram also, they are connecting, they let you connect Messenger and WhatsApp with their page and with your website. So also that 16% of, let's say, phone customer care assistance very soon is going to be basically part of social media. And because you will be able to use WhatsApp to communicate through Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, you will be able to just communicate through WhatsApp with your or Messenger with the company. So social media are going to be then basically more than 50% of the customer care. The third point is business partners are on social media. And yes, of course, a B2B company can use social platforms to build social connection, to engender trust, and to do other activity that will support a strong and collaborative relationship, also with, of course, other companies. There is a survey that was made by Omobono in which 115 marketing specialists in B2B roles, 79% of them rated social media as the most effective marketing channel. And the 38% noting that if they had extra budget for the next year, they would definitely spend it on social media. The number 4 is about driving customers to your website. So of course, a social media brings customer to your website, and it can promote your brand in different ways. So for example, first, it helps the brand image as a leader. For example, you could show the new technology you are bringing to the market. Next, social media helps to raise brand awareness, which brings more customer to your website where the customer can learn more about your product. So this is also very important. And finally, social media is an important part of positioning the brand within the market space also. So that could also be an interesting point to keep in mind. And finally, social media assist sale. Yes, basically it promotes sales, because it's true that in the B2B business, the sales very often don't occur online. So that is true. But social media help by identifying potential customers, by positioning the product to appeal to this prospect, and developing relationship with prospects. So that is important. So I will keep you 2-3 more minutes on these slides just to go through these last few points. Identifying prospects. So identifying customer is a quite a difficult task, I'm sure you know. But the good side of the social media is that they get them to basically hold up their hands. Your B2B company can reach to social media users who have shown some interest in the types of products that the company sells, or who work in certain industries. And this works especially well on LinkedIn, where conversations are more business oriented and groups exist that focus on specific topics and products. Positioning involves segmenting the customers, in this case business, we're talking about business, who share certain priorities, and then changing the message to conform to their priorities. Okay. And because the social media marketing can selectively reach certain group of users, it's absolutely perfect for developing a positioning that resonates with a specific target audience. And last but not least, developing relationship. So like I was saying at the beginning, ultimately customers don't buy from companies, they buy from people. And using social interaction is a way to build trust between buyers and sellers, which is critical for making the sales. So that is basically the last point. You can change the slides, Raghav, please. Okay, so here is mini mini short step-by-step guide for an effective B2B social media strategy. And of course, the most important thing, like in any strategy, is to spell out your goals as first things. And these are the 3 points that you should absolutely prioritize when you are thinking about your social media. So number 1 is creating brand awareness. Then 2 is educating the audience. And 3, of course, is building credibility and trust. So creating brand awareness, what does it mean exactly? First thing first, you need to let the world know who you are, what sets you apart from your competitors, and also what you value as a company. And this is really important on social media. And of course, the social media platform are the best place to make it happen, and to provide a place where you can promote, a small bite-sized piece of content that can highlight all these qualities of your company. And then regarding educating the audience, you need to think about the customer point of view here. So in the B2B, the B2B buyer's journeys involves more than just visiting a website, checking out a price, and just buy a pair of shoes. Most of B2B buyers do independent research. They want to ensure that the company that they're going to deal with is credible. And the best way to cement your credibility is through teaching your audience. So you can use blog posts, you can use ebooks, you can use first-hand reports, you can use how to do videos. Of course, it depends the nature of your company. But basically, any social media marketing strategy for a B2B business should center around educational content and company news. Okay, this is very important. And then last point is building credibility and trust. So of course, there is so much competition, especially between B2B brands. So anything you can do to build trust and prove that your business is worth is a plus. You can use testimonials, you can use positive reviews, awards. All of these are absolutely ideal for sharing. And of course, there is no better place to share than social media. Now let's see in the next slide, Raghav, you can change. We are going to, I'm just going through, let's see how you can do it. Okay, just give you a few example on how you can do this. So first of all, you have to adopt a customer-centric soft marketing B2B social strategy, social media strategy. So basically, customers' interaction should be central to your strategy, both in terms of providing service and producing content. And it's really important that you get your audience involved in your company. So you can do this in different ways. So for example, when in doubt, you can be helpful. So it could be a post where you give helpful information. I have an example later when we do the analysis for the social media. So this is a first way. Provide positive, proactive customer service. Customer stories creates a sense of loyalty amongst your customer base. So that is also quite important. And of course, you can take people behind the scenes. So that is very interesting for when we are a customer to see how you built that product or how you use that product, and that it can be done in many ways with videos, in many ways, or with using stories, for example. So it's important. And then the second point is align your B2B social media strategy with business initiatives. So here there are a lot of things that you can do. You can amplify your media wins using positive reviews, talking about highlight the awards, for example, that you have received for one reason or another one. Product launches, PR, and you can use custom reporting, not only to measure the social media engagement for a product launch, but also to tell a story to your stakeholders. So you can also involve the stakeholders in this. And there is another point here that is important, is to talk for a second, just for a second, about ROI. So ROI means return on investment and is an important part of the digital marketing. because it tells you whether you're getting your money's worth from your marketing campaigns. And unluckily, this is something that B2C company are used to work with, and they are super careful with that. But unluckily, sometimes with B2B companies, the marketers either fail to tie their social media to performance data. So like, for example, sales, traffic, and engagement, or fail to communicate those results across department. So you have to be a little bit careful with this, and you can use this at your advantage, because it allows you to, first of all, understand how much money you're spending and what are the results that you're getting of it, but also it allows you to adjust your strategy. So when you work on social media, you may try different things, and maybe something will work better than other with your customers and with your followers, and the ROI will allow you to see that, and so you can adjust your basically is ongoing work to adjust the strategy of the company on social media. You can change the slide, Raghav, please. So overcome the boring B2B content label. This is, so of course, a term like software and security and finance might not be, by not get people very, very excited about. But you need to keep in mind that your prospect will have an inherent interest in your service. So you shouldn't be too worried about that. And of course, like I said here, you can use your creative assets. You can convert blog post or list into short infographic, especially if you are on Instagram, for example. Instead of simply put some link to a podcast or a video presentation, you can use snippet that is a content that is specifically built to answer questions. You can use Twitter threads, that is a set of tweets by the same user with numbers, and they are linked one to the other one, basically. So at the end, it allows you to have a bigger text and a better explanation that the only 280 characters that are allowed on one Twitter post. And of course, you can use long form text post that you can use like in LinkedIn, in Instagram, in Facebook. The limit of character is very high, so you can make very long posts if you need. Embrace employee advocacy. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that basically you need to keep in mind that an employee account have much greater reach than business account alone. Okay? And creating a sense of community among your coworkers can really give your the social media presence a boost. So that could also be another option. And then, of course, it allows you to stay on top of trends, because social media is all about trends. Actually, the entire world is about trends. So it's good to know these trends, and it can help you to make some decision. The last point is use insights to inform your B2B social media strategy. So this is what I was saying before. Any kind of social media platform, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Instagram, Twitter. Now they all have insights, and you also have platforms that are you can use the insight offered by them. So like Facebook Insights or LinkedIn Insights, or you can also use some other application that are external, where you link all your social media to that application, and they will give you the summary of the insight, basically. And so that is very good information that you can use, because you can target the B2B work categories. So it helps you to, when you have the insight, it helps you to target better your customers. You can run a competitor analysis. So you can always, you should actually always keep an eye on your competitors on social media to see what they are doing or not. And of course, you can adjust your keywords and your hashtags that are very important. And also those, they can be adjusted, for example, with the trends and all of that. So focus on the most B2B friendly platform. This is really, really, really important. The most basically based on a recent research from the Content Marketing Institute, there are a select few channels that are best when it comes to B2B social media. And my suggestion is that if you are just starting with this, you should just focus on one channel or maybe two channel, but no more, until you don't get used to this kind of mindset and strategy and producing the content and everything. So I think one or two network to start with is okay. And as you can see here, the most important network, social media network for B2B companies is LinkedIn by far. So LinkedIn is a very good platform, and you need to keep in mind that it has 630 million users, and of these 63 millions of them are in decision-making position. And LinkedIn could be a powerful platform to reach millions of people in your industry. And also a huge portion of your target audience can make executive decisions about what purchase their business makes. In fact, in the last few years, 65% of B2B companies have used LinkedIn Pay ads to acquire new customers. And this is really important. The platform is also 277% more effective than Facebook in generating leads. Okay, so this you really, really have to keep in mind. So I would say if you have to start from the zero, you should absolutely start from LinkedIn and start making paid advertisement on LinkedIn. Okay, the other ones, so Twitter is a prime place to spot trends and interact with customers and business influence alike. And then, of course, you have the three big that are Facebook, where most of the marketing is, of course, done centers around ads and non-promotional content. Then YouTube is absolutely perfect for tutorials, interview, presentations, and commercials. And Instagram, that is ideal for all what is visuals, like infographics or brief video on how to do. Now, the only thing is that you need to keep in mind that for Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, people go on this platform for entertainment reason. So they are not going there with the intent to buy or to do some specific research. And this is very, very important because it means that you need to adjust your content. So if you decide to have a Instagram page or a Facebook page, is completely fine, but you need to keep in mind that your content has to be entertaining or educational, or if you decide to do some marketing, has to be soft marketing. So soft marketing means that is not in your face. So this is really important. I hope, so this was a little bit of an introduction on why social media are good for a B2B company. And now I just use two companies to make a few examples. So first company is Moha. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. I'm not sure. And they have a very nice website, and then they open an Instagram page in, I think, 2019. So I went and have a look at their Instagram page, and of course there are some critics. It's already great that you have an Instagram account. I went on your website, that is very nicely done. So I just went through and, have, sometimes it's just easier if someone can see in a practical example. So here, the presentation. Okay, so any social media, could be Instagram, LinkedIn, everything, that you have the presentation page. And it's tricky because, especially on Instagram, the presentation is super short. So you need in very few words and character actually explain who you are and what you're doing. So in this case, basically, I think the presentation is a bit too short and is just not very clear, in the sense that you're a software company, that's fine, but then is community and data driven, third party due diligence, and then I cannot read anymore the rest because the video is there. But basically, so what I mean, when I read this, because I don't work in a software company, okay? So, and most of people that go on Instagram, they don't maybe have knowledge about software companies. So you need to keep that in mind. And so, for example, what third party, what type of due diligence platform, basically what you do exactly, in the sense that if I read your presentation as a non-technical person, I actually don't understand what you're doing. So this I think you should maybe reformulate a little bit your presentation. And then the company hashtag is not there. So I suggest for always on any kind of social media, the hashtag are very, very important, and you should absolutely create an hashtag with the name of your company. And like in this take, it could be hashtag Moha or maybe hashtag Mohatech, but you should have it and you should use it in every post you decide to post. So here in this post, so I went through all your posts and I realized that a lot of them are like a screenshot or they are low quality image. And like here you see you have the image is cut and then also the text is cut. So unluckily, we are so used now to good quality image and high quality image that there is a kind of aesthetically mindset that we all have now because of social media. And so having low quality or an image that is cut is not going to work. It's not going to stand out in the feed with all the 100 posts that people sees. So the image needs to be improved. And then if you read the text, it's a bit impersonal. In the sense, it's a bit cold. So you always need to keep in mind when you write your post that the users, you need to keep in mind the users. The users are people, they're not maybe competent in that field. Maybe they're companies, maybe they are not, maybe they're just regular people. And so you should speak with your users like if you were speaking with a friend, basically. And of course, again, the hashtags are missing. So we're going to talk about the hashtag a little bit more in a little bit. So basically, the hashtags in Instagram are very, very important because they are the leitmotif and the common thread that connects people that are sharing the same interest. And they also focus your feed and they keep you update on trends and competitors. I give you an example because just to give you an example. On Instagram, if you go in the search area, you can search pages, so companies, people, whatever, and then you can also search hashtags. Now, if you are someone who use a lot Instagram, you will follow a lot of hashtags. For example, if I'm interested in diving and maybe cooking and maybe fashion, I will follow hashtags diving, hashtag cooking, hashtag fashions. And because I follow those hashtags, my feed is going to show me posts about diving, cooking, and fashion. So in a case of a company, you can follow, for example, your competitors. So for example, I work for a publishing house. So I follow in my hashtags, I follow the other publishing house that publish books about around the same topic. So that allows me on my feed automatically, I would be able to see their post, what they're doing, what they're promoting, which kind of book are publishing. So all of that. So you can really keep an eye on what your competitor are doing. And I think this is important. You could be a B2C or a B2B. This is always a good strategy. Now, what you need to know is that on Instagram, you have a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. And when you put those hashtags, you should always put two kinds of hashtags. One are the general one, and then the niche one. But for example, a general one is hashtag cooking, and then in the niche one, I will put, I don't know, for example, I will put hashtag ketogenic diet or hashtag vegan, for example. So you narrow down the topics and the number of people. So when you do your hashtag on Instagram and also on LinkedIn, you always need to have these two kind of hashtag together so that you will have some general and some more niche hashtag. So here in this post, you can see that the picture is very nice. You are both smiling. You have put the hashtag in this post, but for example, the link to the website is missing. So we will see a little bit later in the structure of a post, but there are two things that cannot be missing. One is the link to your website or event or landing page, whatever it is, but you should always have a link in your post. And then of course you should always have the hashtag. So in this case, you remember to put the hashtags, but you forgot to put the link. And again, same thing is a little bit too impersonal and cold in the sense that of course you are saying congratulations, so it's a nice post, but the problem is that same thing, you are not thinking about the users who doesn't know you and who see this post on his feed. So let's say I don't know you and I see this post on my feed, so I click on it, and then I'm a little bit how can I say, I'm not involved because, for example, so you are giving information that for you are, how can I say, you of course you know who is Josie Afan and who is the CTO, and you know why he's a CTO and how he did become a CTO. But all of these are information that are very evident for you, but are not evident at all for someone who for the first time come on your profile. So this is important. Here again, we have the problem of low resolution image, and the image also is cut, and the link here, both link and hashtag are missing. What is here, top 21 finalists of Singapore EWC, no? So what is EWC? For you, it's clear that you know what it is, but someone that is just coming on that post has no idea. So you need to explain that. And also, where is your company? So here, you know, it took me a while to go and find Moha at the number 8. So when you have an image like this, maybe this was a screenshot from a phone, I don't know, but you can, for example, if it's a screenshot, maybe you could have modified the picture, putting some like a red pen or something like that, or some highlighters on number 8, so that actually I can see immediately, I can see your name, because otherwise if I have to research, it's just not very effective as an image, okay, because it's cut. There are too many information, and the information that you want to put across is that you are actually in the semi-finalist and that you are number 8. So you should have like maybe highlight that number 8, no, so that I could find it immediately. This is the first post that you have put on your feed, and of course, same problem. The link to the website is missing, and then it's a post from 2009. Okay, so post about your company must be repeated regularly because no one goes so far back into the feed. So basically that's it. So you should post regularly. You should have a calendar of post and regularly post about your company. This is my suggestion. So here basically is generally the things that I have observed, and I think you can really improve with very little effort. You can improve quite a lot the content of the page. So from my point of view, there are too many thank you posts, but not enough posts about your company. For example, you know, as I said, you should have more post more often about your company and give information like, is your company eco-friendly, is youth friendly, is woman friendly, for example. No, I mean, I see in the picture you are young, so for sure is youth friendly, but you need to let the people know. Okay, it's all about going back to the idea of educating your followers, right? So you should highlight all the good things that, and these are trending topic, because today,
Yeah.
if let's say if your company is eco-friendly, is a big plus for the company. Or if it's youth friendly, this is again a big plus. Or woman friendly, for example, no? Then content need to be more personal. So for example, who is the owner, when it was funded, why was it funded, and who are the employees, for example. I couldn't find anything about that. So if you want me to get involved in your company, if you want me to care for your company, you need to give me a little bit more information where I can relate to, right? And then the content need to be more user friendly, in the sense that, for example, what can your company do for me? You have a lot of posts that you can make with that. And maybe you can post like a question answer or a problem solving post. Of course, add your website link and all the relevant hashtags in each post. This is really important. And don't forget to differentiate your content. So all what I could see, it was all images. That's it. There is no video, no infographic, no stories. So you should absolutely differentiate your content. Slowly, of course. You don't have to do everything in one go. Absolutely avoid screenshots and images which are cut or in low resolution. And avoid acronyms or explain their meaning. Because it's clear that for you, I mean, I read your post and it's clear that you know what you're talking about. But it is clear for you. Here is Blinkfright. I'm pronouncing correctly, Raghav? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so they have a very beautiful website and they have a very nice LinkedIn page, and you can absolutely see these are a few posts that I took from their page. And in a second, you can see that there is work in this. You can see that there is graphic coherence. They're using the same font, they're using the same model, they're using the same color palette, and they're using the same logo. So definitely there is someone who knows what is doing behind their LinkedIn page. And I really appreciate it. So I use this just as an example to show you which kind of communication you could use, okay? The communication needs to be coherent, and it has to be coherent in all your social media and also your website. Everything should be in the same style, in the same font, in the same color palette, because your posts have to be recognizable at first sight. So the aim here is that, I don't know, let's say after 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, that you are working on social media, if I'm following you and I see one of your posts, basically I see the post and I immediately know that this post is from Blinkfry or from your company. I mean, but that is the idea. So it's really important to have one style that you use all over the place. Okay, so it's great job. Now here also you can see that there is, for example, this. They made this post about the changing that happened in response of COVID-19 in the shipping world. So this is a content that you see, you suddenly is a content that is interesting because it's educational. It's trending because, of course, COVID-19 now is, I mean, we only talk about that anymore, and is a problem solving, in the sense that, let's say I'm in that kind of business, I see this post, this is something that I will find really very useful, no, for my own business also. So they're putting out for free an information that will benefit themselves, but also their competitors. So it's very nice. So this is a very good post. And in the other example that you can see down is, so for example, you'll see how we can help, and you have the link. So this is basically is a call to action, and it's problem solving again. So again is a very good post, though there are no hashtag, but this we see later. So go ahead. Okay, here are a few suggestions. So the most of your post the structure of your post can be improved in the sense that the first 2 lines are the most important. And this is true on any social media. So as you see here, when you receive a post on your feed, without opening the post, you will be able to read only the first 2 lines. So you need to make your point in those 2 lines. Now here, and also in the other posts that I read, very often you do not make your point in your first 2 lines. You make like a long description, and then there is the link and everything. So this is a problem, because here, try to understand and quantify the real impact of this shift from is not engaging. So that is an issue that we can absolutely improve. And then I was also looking at other posts, and I found that in generally the hashtag and also the tags are also missing from most of your posts. And same problem like Moha is that all your content is images. You don't have videos. I mean, you have some infographics, so that is not true. You have some infographics, but most is all images, right? So for example, I went on your website and I realized you have a beautiful YouTube video with a beautiful presentation. So why not uploading that in your LinkedIn account too? Maybe in the future you can think about once in a while, maybe make some videos. They could be about, let's say, professional content, or they could be about personal content. So maybe a video of, I don't know, your employees, or maybe a video of your CTO, or whatever you want. So I just want to see with you for a second the ideal structure of a post. So the most important thing to remember is that from the feed, people will see only the first 2 lines. So you need to engage their attention in those 2 lines. So my suggestion is you start with a captivating mini presentation of maximum 2 lines. That needs to be really engaging. At that point, what I will do is that I will click on the post. So I will read and I will have access at the full post. So then you will put immediately the link to the website, or the link to a landing page, or the link to an event. Okay, because nowadays people attention span is very short. So they may not read to all the description. They may be a little bit impatient. So if you put the link immediately up, you have much more chances for the person to click on the link. Okay. Then after that, because at that point the person is engaged with your post, you can put finally a more detailed description. So like in this case, the detailed description goes much lower in the post. And then, of course, you can put any contact info. And then at the end, of course, you will put the hashtags or tags or both. It depends also in which kind of social media you are. So on LinkedIn also, hashtags are very important. They have more or less the same purpose they have on Instagram. But on LinkedIn has a more professional background compared to Instagram. So you need to create hashtags accordingly. So for example, you can use hashtags that are already suggested by LinkedIn, and you need to keep it professional. So you're not going to put something like, let me think, maybe something like, I mean, nothing emotional or too personal, no, right? You're going to keep hashtags that are business oriented. Now, keep in mind that in Instagram, you were allowed the 30 hashtags. In LinkedIn, you have a maximum of 5 hashtags per post. So when you put them, just think well, because also here you need the general and the niche one. And in the niche one, I suggest you always put the hashtag with the name of your company and with the related to the main product of your company. Those 2 needs to be there, absolutely. So basically, this is just a short summary of the basics. Your page must be active. So my suggestion is that you do a calendar for your post. do a calendar for your post where it will help you to create the content and not getting confused or getting lost. Because if you, let's say, in 1 week, maybe you post, let's say, 3 posts, and then you don't post anything for 1 month. So that is the worst for social media, is the recipe for failure. So if you have a week in which, for whatever reason, a lot of things happen in the company and suddenly you have a lot of content, I suggest you keep that content and you give it a rhythm. So for example, you will put 1 post per week or 2 posts per week. And so you need to find a rhythm that is yours and that you can sustain. And will do that your page is active. So from a social media, so from Instagram point of view or LinkedIn point of view, I can see that you come on my platform every week, and so you are active, and so my algorithm is going to give more visibility to your post. If you disappear for a month or two, then I consider you as a non-active profile, and so the visibility of your post will go down. So this is important. Other ways to be active are answer comments, put in likes, sharing content of maybe other, if you see something like maybe you see one of your competitors put out a very nice post that could be useful also for your followers, you can always decide to share that. Okay, so all of this helps to keep your page active. Schedule your post. Okay, you have a calendar, you have a content calendar, and what you can do to make your life easy, there are a lot of platforms that allows you to schedule your post. So please do not hesitate to schedule your post. It will make your life much more easy. So these are just a few suggestions that I give from my own experience. So creating posts, checking likes, reply to every single comment, keeping an eye on the insight. This is a lot to do. And in order not to go crazy, I suggest you divide the work in 2 parts. So whatever is related to content creation and programming is done. I suggest you do it on the computer. And everything related to supervision and management of the community, so like replying messages, like, or sometimes maybe hide a message that has been maybe a bad review or something like that that you need to hide. So all of this, you do it on your own time from your mobile phone. That will make your life much more easy. So here are just full mobile phone apps that I suggest at some point, if you really decide to go into social media, you should absolutely have this on your phone. Of course, Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, YouTube, we all know. But then there is, for example, if you use Instagram, a very useful app is Repost for Instagram. This allows you to, for example, if you see a very nice post from one of your competitors, or maybe a very nice post from one of your employees, with the Repost for Instagram, you can take that post and automatically publish it on your own feed. Okay? Then in case you use Facebook and Instagram, you absolutely need Business Suite, because it allows you to manage both from one place. And of course, if you decide to go heavily into social media and so you have a lot of content, then you can use tools like HotSuite or PostSpeaker to programming all. Those are 2 programming apps, so they allowed you to program the post. So basically on PostSpeaker, for example, like for me, we use, for us, we use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So what I do is that I go on PostSpeaker, I make one post, I decide the date and the time, and then automatically that post will come out on the 3 platforms at the same time, at the same day, without me doing anything. So that's very nice. Now for the computer, of course, Facebook Business Manager. In case you use Google, then it's Google AdSense and Google AdWords. That also allows you to do advertisement on YouTube in case you decide to use YouTube channel. Then you should have WhatsApp Web. You can have something called Canva. Canva is a great platform to create content. It really makes your life very, very, very easy. Especially for Moha, I think if you use Canva, you can improve the quality of your content a lot. with very, very little effort, because Canva is extremely intuitive and very easy to use, and they have a lot of model also. So you can choose a graphic model and you can adapt it to all your posts, and this will give you the graphic coherence that will help in the communication of your content. And then you can have, if you're looking for pictures, of course you have to look, or you do your own, or in case you cannot, you need pictures that are free of copyright. So you can use a website like Pixabay and Pexels. They're completely free, and you can take any picture. They have very high quality pictures, and whatever you take from there is free from any copyright. So you can, and they have like millions of pictures. Or you can use Envato, for example, is another website where they have picture, they have videos, and they have very nice music, a lot of music. But Envato, you need to subscribe, so there is a cost to it. But if at some point you decide to go more and more on social media, it could be a good investment to do. It's not crazy expensive.
Ellie, hi. Sorry, this is Samir. Quick question. I
Yeah.
know there's a time constraint, but very quickly. So we have been trying to find videos and images for our Instagram and the rest of it, and we were recommended Storyboard. It's not cheap because they do a monthly subscription. So you just mentioned something where there is there is content that's copyright free. Do they also
Yes.
have videos?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
And no problem. No problem. So that's it, basically. That's it. This is just the name of my company and my email in case you have some question or something. I'm free. I'm happy to answer.
Obviously, thank you so much, Ali. Obviously, we know that we have a time constraint, but I'd like to open up the floor to any questions y'all might have. Yunsel, Avram, do y'all have any questions?
No, thank you very much for the feedback. It's very helpful. Any feedback is good feedback.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. And I have to be honest, you're right. When you said you probably screenshot it on your phone and it was right. I need to take much more effort in it.
It's a little bit of mindset. That's it. Then it will come very easily.
So I know you work with larger clients, but if so, we've tried Upworks and everything, and it's always been a bit of a chase for us. We tried getting people on Upworks to help, and we try to coordinate internally because consistency is very hard to do because we have our businesses to run, right? And I think it's even tougher for someone like Avram or for Yunsil to do. Are there options where people will be responsible and we can give them a brief and they can run this process for us in a reasonable price manner? Meaning it shouldn't, the big agencies are extremely expensive.
Yes.
So do you recommend having an in-house person, or is it okay to have someone external? Or is it a hybrid of the two?
So definitely the big agency are out of question because their price is crazy. There are some options. The company like mine, that is what we do. We run the social media for small business, and I'm sure that there are a lot of them nowadays. Or maybe you can, there are a lot of people that now become, especially with COVID, a lot of people had to reinvent themselves, and they did a lot of course online. And I'm sure that maybe you can find some freelance that can do that for you, but you just need to be sure that they know what they're doing. And also the problem is that you need to feed them content, right? So that could be a time-consuming task by itself. So the ideal things would be maybe someone of the company who knows exactly what is happening in the company and what you are doing, and so you have the first hand. And but they should schedule a time, like I would say at the beginning, 2 hours per week for that.
Is there a certain day that it's better to post on certain platforms? Because I know there's some issue with utilization by day, right?
Yeah, so that it depends on the platform that you use, and it depends of the followers that you have. And so to do that, you need to go on the insight of your platform and of your profile and check. And the insight will tell you. They will tell you, for example, they will show you that the peak of your followers is I don't know, Wednesday night at 9 p.m., for example. Then you see that from the insight, and then you use that to make a better choice in your calendar. So let's say if you decide that you are posting one post per week, then you will post it on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. So those are all information that you get from the insights.
Avram, I know you had a chat with Amala, right, on PR, and we haven't had a chance to reconnect after that. Do people like those do social media as well, or is it they just do the copywriting?
I think she just does copywriting and PR, like serious PR. No, actually, I'll be very honest. I use my designer, and he's been helping us. Like, I gave him all the content. He helped us do the designs. He also does our decks and everything. And he actually, I'll send him the information. He'll make some designs, and then he lines them up in Buffer, right? So we use Buffer, and we'll go out like a month or 2 months or 3 months, and we'll just automatically repost some blogs or some new designs. Or if I want to go in and post something, I'll like there's some new news, some industry related news, and then I'll post that on LinkedIn and Twitter. But yeah, it's just to keep it looking like there's a lot going on, even though we don't have many followers.
And Ellie, on your with your team, you guys do copy as well as the social media management, or do the content all has to come from the client? Is it?
The content, or no, that's not true. We do all the content, but it's different because I mean, for us, it's a B2C. I work in the B2C company, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, we don't have the problem of content because, for example, with the e-commerce, they have a huge website with over 7,000 products. So my problem is never to create content. My problem is to do the selection of the content who is relevant and then transform it in a way that it's easy to engage. It has to engage and it has to communicate fast and it has to kind of attract the potential client. But I have an overflow of content. Okay, so it's different. The problem is different. But when you have to create content in a B2B business, I think really the most important thing is to put down a calendar. Because the moment that you have something happen, let's say at a award winning or something, then you keep it and you schedule that as a second post on the month. And then if something happened at a personal level, you can keep those content. You're not obliged to post everything when it happens. You can keep it and just schedule it. And so using that, it will be very easy. And then you will, when you start thinking like this, when you start having a calendar and you start having some kind of topics that, like one red topic, blue, yellow, then your mind will start be creative in that sense. And then maybe you say, okay, now I could do another kind of post, for example. So I think that is the mindset of creating the calendar, creating the topic calendar and schedule is the most important thing. And it will give you the constance, also be consistency. That is what you need absolutely to have success in social media. If you don't have the consistency, if you put a post every 2 months, it's no point.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Ali, for taking out the time to
No problem.
for informative presentation. And thank you so much, Abraham and Yunsel, for attending. And I hope I'll obviously be sharing the slide deck with you all and also Ali's email address in case you might have any further questions. So thank you everyone for attending.